I know for sure that you're starting to set your test dates and you're starting to gather all your study material, because I have been getting a ton of emails asking me which certification you should take. For that, I say I am super proud of you. Go ahead, lock those test dates in. I've already answered some of you. I answered as many people as I could, but I couldn't get to everybody. So I decided to put this video together, and this is going to be your guide. So as you know, both certifications expect you to think like an HR business partner. The difference is how you apply that thinking. So the SHRM-SCP demonstrates your application of HRBP-level thinking to operational challenges. You are going to be working as a strategic executioner. Now, the SHRM-CP demonstrates that you can apply HRBP-level thinking to visionary challenges. In that role, you're going to be acting as the builder. So you are creating the infrastructure. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which one matches your role, and you're going to walk away with a clear answer about which one is best for you. So as we're going through this video, I want you to frame your decision in terms of, first, where you are, and then second, where you're trying to go. That's going to help to shape your decision. Your decision is actually going to be made based on those two things. So forget the idea that one is better than the other or one is harder than the other. The tests are different, right? They are different for different reasons. One is more strategic than the other for sure, but it doesn't necessarily make it harder. I mean, as long as you're applying the right strategy, there's a different strategy for each exam, right? So the SHRM-CP focuses on how you apply HRBP thinking to operations. So again, you're going to be working as an implementer. It tests whether you can give managers advice, if you can handle employee relations, can you keep HR aligned with the business goals in a day-to-day capacity. So in this role, you are going to be executing solutions that eliminate problems for the long term. Now, don't forget, you're always going to be looking for long-term solutions. It doesn't matter which role you're in. It's always going to be thinking about the future of the business. But now the SCP role focuses on building the infrastructure. That is what's going to enable the execution of those day-to-day strategies. So it tests whether you can shape the policies. Can you design these frameworks that are scalable? Can you influence the leaders on how HR should drive the future of the business? Now, like I said, you're always going to be employing strategic long-term thinking. But the question is, to what are you going to be applying that? My advice is to match the exam to your current role, but then also decide where you're trying to go next. Are you trying to break into HR? You need to have that at the forefront. Maybe you're a student, or you are an intern, or you just don't have the experience right now. So that means that the SHRM-CP is probably going to be your best choice. Are you in an operational role and you have been in that role for maybe 2 years or 3 years, and now you want to move into a more senior level role? That means that you should be looking at the SHRM-SCP exam. Now, even though you are currently in an operational role, your aspirations and your experience justify that SCP because you want to move up and you've been in the role 2 to 3 years. Keep that in mind. And then maybe you're in an operational role. You're new to that role. You don't have the experience, but you don't want to do anything else. You're content with where you are. You're not looking to move into a senior level position anytime soon. Then you can still take the SHRM-CP. That is going to be the best choice for you. Most of the time, I tell everyone to think of it like job descriptions. If you're in an HR role, you've already broken into the field, but you're mostly executing tasks. You're doing onboarding, or you are doing payroll, or your benefit support, or your compliance, right? Or maybe you're doing employee relations, but you are doing all of these things under somebody else's supervision. Then you're in an operational role. Now, if you are independently advising managers, you are making policy decisions, you're leading projects, but you have at least 2 to 3 years of exempt level HR decision making, then the SCP does fit you. It validates your current level, but it builds credibility for your next step. So now you can move into those senior level roles. If you're already sitting at the strategy table, you're already shaping policies, you are already leading initiatives, you are advising executives, then you are definitely the quintessential SHRM-SCP candidate. I think it's a good idea to kind of show you how the questions are going to differ on the exam. All right, so let's look at one challenge and we're going to see how it shows up differently on each exam. So let's say turnover in the IT department has doubled in the past 6 months. Let's look at that from an SHRM-CP perspective. So this is an HRBP working as an executioner, right? So the exam might ask, what's the best step to support the department head? This is operational. So you would be doing something like reviewing exit interviews, or you are conducting stay interviews, because that is a long-term plan that is going to address the root cause of that turnover. But it doesn't require the HR professional to develop an infrastructure. Now we're going to look at it from the SCP perspective. The exam might ask you, what should HR propose to the executive team to reduce turnover company-wide? Here, you're going to be demonstrating how you can step back and you can build for the future, right? So in this case, you're designing a retention framework, or you are redefining the EVP. It's the same HRBP mindset, but a different scope of decision making. I want to drill down into that decision making, right? So here are the questions that you need to ask yourself when you are trying to make that big decision about which exam you're going to take. The first thing you want to ask yourself is, are you currently advising leadership on strategy? If the decisions you make shape the company's direction, you are doing things like restructuring, or you are doing workforce planning or long-term strategy, then that is SCP. Now, if your decisions mostly shape how HR policies and processes can get carried out today, for right now, that's CP. Then ask yourself, are you independently making HR decisions day to day and carrying out those decisions on the fly? If the answer is yes, you are already applying HRBP thinking as a high-level executioner. You're balancing compliance and people and business needs, but only for the moment. So that really could go either way. You're currently working as an implementer, but you're prepared to move into the role of a builder, right? So if you do have the 2 to 3 years experience, then I would go for the SCP exam. But if most of your role is just supporting other people and somebody else is making the decisions, somebody else is doing the building, and your responsibility is to make sure that that vision comes to life, then you need to start with the SCP. This is about fit. It's not about prestige, right? So my guidance is, if you're in HR or you're supporting HR, but you're not leading, go for the SHRM-SCP. Now, if you're advising managers and you're making independent decisions, but you're just not shaping company-wide policies yet, still the CP. However, if you're thinking about moving forward and you have the experience, then maybe you think about the SCP. Now, of course, if you're already sitting at the table, you are already advising the executives, then the SCP is just going to help you to validate that, right? And show that you have the skills to be there. Either way, I have the tools that can help you win, right? To get you to the next step. You can start with the Ultimate SHRM Study Kit. Now, this kit is going to give you structure. It's going to give you practice and frameworks, and that is just going to get you, it'll get you out of the gate strong. If you want to go right in with a start to finish, all-inclusive system, you need to get the complete edition. I made sure that you don't need any other study resources after you purchase the complete edition. I'm looking forward to walking through this long journey in this big moment and celebrating your past. And I am looking forward to meeting all of the upcoming HR professionals. It is so exciting. Every single testing window, it is so exciting to see new professionals come in. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.